Yeah.
Anybody think you've got some reports?
Okay. Good morning, everybody. Good to see we've got a full attendance this morning. Nice to see people. We haven't any apologies, so can we move on to the minutes? Can we approve the minutes of the meeting on the 12th of December?
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Chair.
Okay, thank you. Just one announcement to make. Our Chief Executive, Andrew, will be retiring at the end of March. I'd just like to pay tribute to him today. Now, I'm sure we'll probably have more tributes, Andrew, than Frank Sinatra leaving do before we finish. But I didn't want to let it pass this morning without saying what an amazing Chief Executive been, and how you got us through COVID. Was amazing, really, the work that you did on that. But we'll be saying a lot more as the months go by. So thank you for that. With no urgent items, I draw your attention to the item 5 exclusion of public and press. I don't think there's anything that we need to exclude you from. And I draw your attention to members' declaration of interest. Okay, we go on to key decisions. Support for the high streets. Michael.
Well, thanks, Denise. So this first one is asking Cabinet to merge two different funds, the Retail Enhancement Fund and the Curb Appeal Fund. So just to give some background, we've had a lot of different grants and funds to support local businesses, and that's in the face of some massive challenges that we've seen lately. Obviously, the huge rise in online shopping, and I think people really underestimate just how big of an issue online shopping is. You know, my friend ordered something to my house the other day, and it was 16 deliveries away from the house, so I thought, oh, it must be down in Normanton. It was in the street next to us. So that's 16 people in one street getting an Amazon delivery that day. So it is huge, the number of people shopping online. We've also got people working at home, which has really had a knock-on effect to businesses, and also the cost of living crisis. So lots of huge challenges facing our businesses right across the district. And we've put out lots of different funding opportunities, lots of support through Wakefield First to help people. And this is another way of doing that. So there are some changes on agenda page 12, which set out why we're doing this. So increasing the intervention rate to 80%, a maximum grant of 10,000 instead of 8,000, and changing where it's targeted as well so that more people get to benefit from this support. You can already see some of the places we've had different schemes and how they've been funded as well. So Nottingham, Castleford, Horbury, Hemsworth, Ossett, the list goes on. Funding from the Towns deal, funding from ourselves, UK SPF, Historic England. You know, there's a wide range of investment there and a wide range of it being spread out. So really great. And the results have been fantastic too. We know we've got voids throughout Wakefield, throughout Castleford, and we're filling those up due to this grant. So lots of good improvements happening. So with that, the options for recommendation, I'd like Cabinet to take option 1, which is to approve the merging into a single high street investment fund, which will impact more businesses and continue that support.
Any comments, any questions? No.
Just one quick comment, Chair. I think what we're seeing out of Castleford Town Centre and that is a number of shops in Airedale, like Asda, Tesco Express, things like that. They're springing up on the outsides, and the footfall's going there and taking it away from some of the town centres. And I do agree with your point about online shopping. It's easy, it's efficient, and people are doing it more and more. So I really do welcome this support, because I think it'll change the way the operators start to see things, and I think that's the real key. So I welcome the support, and I hope it works, but I think we'll be sat around this table discussing it on a regular basis now, because I don't think online shopping is going to go away.
Yeah, thanks, Les. I think it's an uphill battle, and I think you're completely right. The trend is to move outwards because it's better for businesses. And at the end of the day, it's up to people. You can either go along and buy online, or you can fight against it. But I think there's a real need to diversify businesses within the city centre and within our towns and offer that entertainment. And we've been banging on about it, you know, it's time to deliver. Those three things there, online shopping, home working, cost of living, you know, shop in person, get back into work, and let's get a Labour government, and I think we'll have them sorted. So looking forward to it.
I think that's good, and I think it's the way forward. But when you think about, I know online shopping seems to be it, but I actually like to do shopping face to face, and I do think the owners of the ridings, the Heed, has been an amazing. The difference it's made to the ridings, it's worth going in now. Shops are opening and people are in there. So it shows what can be done if we all work together, and we are working in partnership with him. As you know, Michael, you're doing that, and it's working really well. So if there's no more comments, can we agree the report?
Agreed.
Thank you. Okay, you're on again.
So this one, a little bit more boring, it's a policy, but what's going to come out of the policy is really great for the district. So the Wakefield District Economic Wellbeing Strategy, the gist of it is we've had an economic strategy over the last 5 years. It's now coming to the end, and like any good policy or strategy, you change it and you adapt it for the new challenges that are on the horizon. We've just talked about some of the challenges that are facing us there. But what I didn't want with this is a policy sat on a dusty shelf that we never look at. You know, we want a working document, something that we're going to constantly refer back to. So we've spoken to all of the key stakeholders, we've learned from the big conversation, you know, speaking to elected members, every department across the council, and we've developed this new wellbeing strategy, which isn't just about, you know, creating money and growing the economy within the district for some people. It's about growing the economy for everyone, and making sure that everyone benefits from more money coming into the district. The policy itself is on agenda page 27, so it starts there. And as you can see, it's very succinct and it's very clear as to what our ambitions are, how we're going to achieve that, and what some of the results are. So it's not pages and pages of detail, it's really, you know, key ambitions that we can agree to, that we can achieve, and hopefully, you know, in a year's or two time, we'll all know them off by heart, and we can all be saying this is what we're achieving for our communities. So things like spending more money in Wakefield from businesses, better connecting local people to quality jobs here, driving aspirations, and a lot of the green agendas in there as well, adapting to the demands of that. So if there's any questions, happy to take them. I just want to point out that on the first page of it, the foreword, unless you can read Latin, you won't have understood the word. So this will go to full council, and that will be in English for when we get there, so everyone can understand. But yeah, happy to take any questions, and hope you can approve that policy.
Jack.
Thank you, Lydia. I really welcome this report, Michael, and thank you for yourself and your team working on this agenda. It's so important, and what I really particularly am pleased to see in it is the emphasis around decarbonisation, the green agenda, the jobs of the future, but also a just transition for workers. Because I think, as you said in your opening remarks, all too often wealth creation is seen in terms of GDP and statistics and not in people's lives, but actually this strategy puts it back on how we can improve people's lives, looking at social value, looking at other things and the economic factors that make people happy and prosperous. So I think this is exactly where we need to be going as a council, and welcome it very much.
Anyone else? Okay, can we agree the report?
Agreed.
Thank you. And the strategic acquisition.
Yeah, the last of the hat trick. So I'll be really quick with this one. We've had these come to Cabinet before, and these are our acquisitions for the Towns Fund for Castleford and Wakefield. This one's in Wakefield, and as usual, the commercially sensitive stuff's on the pink paper. So if you'd like to ask any questions on that, we will have to chuck everyone out of the room. But happy to take any questions on the white report, if there are any. But if not, yeah, please approve that, and we can crack on with getting a spade in the ground on some of these projects.
Any comments?
Good.
I just think sooner we crack on with this, the better. These things take a long time. I do notice that on Facebook we're being criticised. People think that we're not spending the money, but I don't think they realise how long these acquisitions take. We just have to keep getting the message out that we are doing everything, and it will be delivered. but I think people are impatient and don't quite understand just how long these things take. Margaret?
Yeah, I'd just like to comment, Michael, wonderful. I think when we're talking about the high street in your first item, what you planned for Cathedral Square, we've got to attract people in, and you attract people in by producing areas like that for them to meet up and enjoy, and then go shopping as well. So the things work actually in tandem, I think. So it's brilliant that we're getting ahead with it.
Yeah, thanks, Margaret. I know there's some skeptics out there about, you know, creating public spaces, more greening and more events, etc. But there are groups out there, and ourselves as a council need spaces like that and can animate them throughout the year. And you know, we can sit around and have that city sit there as it is and try and do things how we've always done things. It's not going to work. We know it's not. The times have changed. We need to try something new. And you know, I will totally agree with you, Denise, on the funding aspect. We get money from government. Everyone's so bored of us saying this now, but they've cut money every single year, and then they hand you a little bit back, but in a lump sum, and give you a ridiculous timescale to spend it in. It's absolutely ludicrous, and then you're sat here sounding ungrateful for being given 50 and 20 million, so you look stupid, but it's true. The timescales are ridiculous, and once everyone knows we've got this money to spend, it makes everything very, very difficult to do and deliver. So just a terrible way of doing stuff. And yeah, we're all sick of it, but we're doing a good job, and let's continue. I'm looking forward to what we've got coming here.
Yeah, if we were funded properly in the first place, we wouldn't need to be having the handouts, but anyway, that's a different story. So can we agree the report? Thanks very much. Item 10 is building a fairer future, and I'm really pleased that we're bringing the council's draft corporate plan for 2024-26. Which will be going to full council shortly. Building a fairer future is what this plan is all about, and we're focused on everybody across the district. And I'd like to thank everybody who's been involved in working towards this plan. Officers, members of the public who took part in the big conversation. We spoke to over 1,000 people, and it made such a difference. People, we've just heard, people like to give their opinions, whether they're what we want to hear or whether they're criticising us, but we do want to hear what people think. So the big conversation was a great success, and we are looking how we can incorporate that in future. But everybody has played a full central role in this plan, and it builds on the achievements that we've made since 2022 to improve the lives and places of the district. The plan sets out 6 priorities which I'll be recommending to full council on the 24th. These include delivering our year 2024, a year-long festival programme, bringing residents and communities together, developing projects to deliver the ambitions of our economic wellbeing strategy, improving the wellbeing of local people and communities, delivering on our health and wellbeing strategy to ensure a strong focus on health inequalities and improve the health of the population, to continue to support children and their families to receive the help they need at the right time, and delivering against our carbon and net zero targets. So I'm pleased to recommend this report this morning and take it on to council next week. Are there any comments, questions?
Good report.
Are we all happy with that? Yes. Okay, thanks very much. The next item, item 11, is the financial health report. This report can be found on agenda pages 99 to 122, informing Cabinet of the latest forecast position against the revenue budget for the current financial year, which is an overspend of 3.4 million, an increase of 1.1 million to that which was previously reported. As I have commented previously, Cabinet colleagues will be aware that the economic climate continues to have significant impact on the council and all local authorities, resulting in an increased demand and rising costs. Table 2 on agenda 102 provides a summary position on directorate by directorate, including a comparison to previous months. Section 3.1 of the report on agenda page 101 gives a summary of the council's progress against the delivery of agreed budget savings for this year. In total, the forecast is that 89% of those put forward will be implemented by the end of year, which equates to 12.5 million. The recommendations are set out in section 2 and can be found on page 100, and with that I ask you to agree the report. Are we okay with that? Agreed, Council. Thank you. And then item 12 is the initial revenue budget proposals for 24-25. In October, we set out our first step of the budget process with the publication of the Council's medium-term financial strategy. And in response to this, in December, Cabinet approved the initial series of budget savings and efficiency proposals. In today's report, which commences on page 123, sets out the Council's full range of initial budget proposals for the upcoming financial year. This includes the impact of the Government's autumn statement and the local government provision settlement, which was only received on the 18th of December. It's always last minute when we haven't time to sort anything else out. Whilst there is an increase in the government funding, this has not kept pace with inflation and demand that the council are facing, including Wakefield. Every council is facing real problems. Overall, there is a budget challenge of 33 million for the council to address, and Appendix 1 to the report details how this account has been determined. The budget will help deliver an updated corporate plan which sets out our ambitions to improve the lives of our residents, to make sure that our district has a sustainable future. These proposals put forward today have not been made lightly and have been the subject of robust discussions and debate. The Council is committed to minimise as far as possible the impact of funding cuts on the delivery of our priority services and protect actual jobs. I'd also like to emphasise that while there are difficult decisions to be made, the Council remains in a resilient financial position, and this is a testament to the tough decisions we are taking. It's also a testament to our officers who have worked tirelessly on this budget to make sure that we are as successful as we can be in these difficult times. And I do pay tribute, Caroline, to you and your team, and if you pass that on to them, because you know, it's all right politicians saying we're doing this, but really it's people in the back room who do so much work. The recommendations are set out in section 2, can be found on page 125. And I ask that we agree this report and move it on to council.
Agreed.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Morley.
Thank you, Denise. Just a very quick and simple report. For Council to consider adopting a revised statement of community involvement which sets out how the Council will consult with a broad of spectrum of people and organise all planning matters and at different stages of the planning process. So can I recommend option 1 at 4.1, please?
Okay, we all happy with that?
Yep.
Fine, thank you.
Great.
Next one.
Okay. The local plan, yes. The local plan sets out policies and land allocations for guiding new development and protecting the environment up to 2036. Work originally started on the plan in 2017, and the process includes several rounds of consultation with local people, businesses and other stakeholders. Following public examination to scrutinise all aspects of the planning inspectorate has independently confirmed that it is legally compliant and sound. This is a combination of a lot of hard work by the council, and I'm grateful to everybody who took part and made their views known to us. Without a local plan, communities are unprotected from speculative development. This means that development will still happen, but too often in inappropriate locations and without the right infrastructure in place. Instead, the plan will enable coordination and substantial development, unlocking significant investment supporting the creation of housing jobs that are needed by the communities in this district. It will also make sure developments are well designed and connected to public transport networks, improving transportation infrastructure, including our highways and walking, cycling and other. I am therefore delighted that the plan has been deemed sound and legally compliant and ask that Cabinet endorses the recommendations in the report so it can be referred to full council.
Thank you for that. Matthew, any comments, any questions?
I think it's an excellent plan, Chair. I think it's what needed around the district, and I think well done to you.
I think it's just the combination of many years. Denise, I know you've been involved with this for many years through the LDF and the Unitary Development Plan before that. As a Wakefield Council, we have always made sure we've provided that allocation of houses has protected massive swathes of greenbelt land. If we didn't have that, then everywhere's up for grabs, and nobody wants that.
Yeah. I mean, local development plans don't suit everybody, and we do know that there are issues across the district where people are not happy with the house building. But I have to say again, paying tribute to the team in planning. I mean, we've got a great reputation in Wakefield for delivering our LDFs on time and bringing investment into the district. I know everybody doesn't want houses in their backyard, but there is such a shortage of houses and development, and I think this plan will set out what we can achieve, but also people who want to object later down the line when the applications come in. So local people's voices will still be heard. So anyone else want to comment?
Just to say you are right, if we didn't have a local plan, if we wasn't building houses, the housing crisis would be 10 times worse. You've got to keep people moving about, from moving into starter homes to moving into family homes, and it's interesting. There's this myth that we're building houses for other people to move into Wakefield. I was on a development in Newton Hill, off Leeds Road in my ward, and the majority of people that live on that estate now have moved from small properties into bigger family homes from Renthorpe, Outwood, Stanley area. So people are still, we are attracting people from elsewhere, but we are building homes for our own communities as well.
That's good, yeah. Okay, so we'll refer it to the full council next week. Thanks very much. Can we agree that?
Yep.
Lovely. That concludes the meeting. Thank you.